everybody and happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday sewing and here we are again with another one of our slow stitch square session, and the two picks this week was dark blue and couching. Yes,
prompting couching.
I'll wait for him indoors to go. Right, so I've got some dark blue silk thread, and I've got some DNC. Oh, is it DNC this one, or is it somebody else? Made in Hungary. Oh, puppets. Never heard. This is some that my auntie gave me a great big bag full. 7150 puppets. Made it. Never heard of that one. Looks nice thread. I'd obviously cut out my 4 squares for the next 4 bits. I'm using this background, and I've got some lovely chenille thread out of my stash. Now this is what I'm going to couch with today, and you can't really embroider with it because it doesn't pull through unless you've got really big. You could use like the tapestry background that's got big squares in it if you wanted to, but generally speaking I use it for couching and it's beautiful. So that's why I've chosen really the silk thread, because I want this to be the main attraction, the star of the show. I've got my bag of white bits because I need that. I was going to get some bits, and then I came across this and I thought, oh, so this is this lovely bag, and this flower and some other flowers was sent by Penny Souther, and go and check Penny out. She lives over in the States, and she's got a lovely Facebook group, Penny Souther, can't remember what, Junk Journal, I think, Penny Souther Junk Journal, and they do a lot of swaps and things like that. I don't get the time these days to be doing the swaps and things, but it is a lovely group of ladies, and she sent me this. I just keep a few of my favourite hoarding bits in there, but I just want a few. I've got some of this that I might use. I had some smaller bits. There's one with a button on I thought I might use as well there. Yeah. And then look at this. I've been saving this. This is a patch. It's some vintage cotton, and it's been patched up, but that makes it all the more exciting. Okay, so I think we may well use those because it's got a button on it, and I think that'd be nice. Okay, so we'll get cracking. So hope you've all got your stuff ready. I don't want it as big as that. And we'll do some sewing together and a bit of a natter. I think what I'll do is I'll start with a bit of chenille, and I want to pin out of here. Let's see how we go. So I'm just having a nice steady. I think my scissors are ready for sharpening. Crikey, they're rubbish. Where's my embroidery scissors? They're my paper scissors, but I think they're even a bit blunt for paper. So they're ready for sharpening. I've got a sharpener, Fisker's scissor sharpener. Well worth the investment. I think they're about £18–20, and worth the investment really, because you don't have to keep buying scissors, do you, if you can keep sharpening them. Right, so I want a length of my chenille. I don't want too long, so I'm going to curl it. So I think we'll start off. I've already done some slow stitch on there. I'm going to start off in this corner. Let's just get it started. Just going to pin that for now until I get it going. Okay. So hope you are all doing well and keeping yourself extra safe. We're coming into winter months now, so it's even more important. And of course this week you've got your, you know, over in America, you've got your, if I can do it like that, the elections, which I'm sure the whole world is watching avidly. I don't get political really, but I am, how shall I say, there's somebody that I really worry about winning. I think that's all I'm going to say, because, you know, there may be people on here that like both people. And it's surprising, you know, sometimes there comes a point where years and years ago, and I'm not a political person, I'm not necessarily a political person, I don't always necessarily follow the politics here in the UK, unless there's something that's, you know, like at the minute, it's we've got such a lot going on, it's more in your face, isn't it? But very rarely I take notice of, I wonder if I can lean in like that, will that be better? It's hard to sew like this. Right, so we're just wrapping round. I want to couch some circles on here with this chenille. No, that didn't work in for me. We'll see how we go. Yes, very rarely do I notice what's going on in other countries. You know, if you say who's the Prime Minister of Spain, or you know, I'm not sure I do know. I can't even remember the chap in France. But what I do know is that I am very concerned with all the stuff that's going on in the South China Sea, and I think there's far too much sabre rattling going on. You don't let people walk all over you, but on the other hand you don't provoke. And so I sort of have been paying much more attention to what's going on for you guys, and I know I've got a lot of you that are over in the States, lovely followers. And I also worry about the pandemic handling. I know you're a much bigger country than us, and we're all suffering the same things, and you know, it's awful for people losing family and friends. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I am paying attention, and I shall be very worried if the outcome isn't what I want. Is that enough? I'll probably lose another subscriber now. I've lost a subscriber this week. I'd got up to be 300. And obviously, that's fair enough. I don't think I've been political. I'm just stating an honest opinion that these days what does happen politically by the person in charge across the pond from us worries me about what will happen in the whole world, and I don't think I must be alone in that. Now then, what more pleasant things can we talk about? Look, see, I've got my chenille in a twist. Chenille's lovely stuff. I really do like it, but it can shed. It's shedding. And it gets a bit bobbly. There we go. So we're back on lockdown. on Thursday, which I think I probably mentioned yesterday. Not much different from me and David, because we were in shielding for 4 months, you know, because of some health conditions. And although they're saying they're not, I don't understand the, doesn't that look lovely? I'm loving it. You'd think I'd just stuck a dot on. I think that might be enough. Yeah, they're saying that the shielding people just got to be extra careful because they don't want people to get lonely. Well, that seems a bit of a silly argument. We know that there are, you know, I felt very grateful that I was in shielding for 4 months and David and I had each other. And, you know, there are some people on their own. It must have felt an age if they were shielding on their own. But we've not really altered our habits that much, to be honest. I think we've just resigned ourselves to the fact that we've got plenty to do here, and we'll just entertain ourselves and have a big family bash when we get to over next spring. I think that's the best way to look at it, as long as our family are all keeping safe and well. It's what you have to do, isn't it? My dad, bless him, he's 84. He lives in London, so he doesn't live that far from my sister. I've only got one sister. I've no other siblings, just me and my sister. And my dad doesn't live that far away. He's in a nice gated community for, you know, older people. Ah, I love that. Love it. And yeah, he's been doing okay. Doesn't get out all that much, you know, because you start to have problems walking and things like that, don't you, when you get to a certain age. But he's missing going to Marks and Spencer's. That's the thing, he says. He's missing going to Marks and Spencer's. I don't know if they have a Marks and Spencer's. I know they have Marks and Spencer's in Europe. Do you have Marks and Spencer's stores over in the States and in Canada? Let me know, I don't know. My mum used to swear by Marks and Spencer's food. And you know, you'd arrived sort of thing, you know. If you went and did your food shop at Marks and Spencer's years ago, when we were children, of which, you know, we didn't, my mum didn't, because it was always slightly more expensive. Then you'd arrived sort of thing, you know, you were posh, you were doing well for yourself if you could afford to food shop at Marks and Spencer's. Now, for us, it used to be like a birthday treat. It was a bit of a birthday treat for us. If my mum went and bought some things from Marks and Spencer's, that was, you know, a treat. I'm not convinced it was any. Yes, the quality. There is some lovely quality food at Marks and Spencer's, but I think nowadays, I think the quality all over the food places, you know, is exceptional. But and then obviously, as you know, as years went by and my sister and I left home and not sort of having to pay out to feed us and everything else. My mum often used to go and get treats and things from Marks and Spencer's. So then she got my dad into it, really, and that's what he misses. He misses going and just having a browse around. And he's got, you know, I understand what he says, because he doesn't know what he fancies to eat every day. You don't, do you? And you know, you're having to sort of be a lot more strict in how you do your food shopping. Whereas my dad used to pop down on the bus a couple of times a month, and you know, to his local at Mill Hill, Broadway, in North London. He's a Yorkshireman, but you know, when my mum was having a cancer treatment, they moved down there, and he misses going and you know, just whatever takes his eye and buying what takes his eye, really. And he said he's missing that. Whereas, you know, my sister's my sister's sorting him out with online food orders and stuff, and then they go and drop it off, and, you know, it's not quite the same, is it, as going shopping yourself, I suppose. But, you know, the best thing is that he's keeping fairly well. He does have a lot of health conditions, so, you know, he is very vulnerable, but he's in this lovely gated community where I think, you know, this sort of, there's a code to get in the gate of the drive now, so not just anybody can turn up. I think even relatives, there's only certain bubble, as we, you know, in his bubble, which is my sister and her husband, that's allowed to visit, allowed in, which I think is a good thing, you know. Some people think in our rules, I know we're talking about the convicts again, I don't mean to, but, you know, some people think that we're being too strict here, and they don't, you know, I think whichever government's in, it's a global pandemic, and I think they're doing the best, and what can you do, you know. If we'd have had lockdown earlier, they'd have complained that businesses, you know, were losing their livelihoods. Now we've got lockdown coming on Thursday, and they're now moaning it's too late. So, you know, it's one of those things, you can never suit people, can you? I personally, we've got excellent scientific advisors. The chief scientific advisor and the chief medical advisor, I think, are very good, learned men, and I think, you know, they're giving good advice, and politicians don't always follow it. But yeah, we'll just follow them. So what's the weather doing here? It's grey, it's grey. It's typical autumnal weather here in the UK. I love the autumn days when you've got, you know, it's cold and crisp, but you've got some sunshine, and it's just ideal then for going walking. Nelson had a haircut. Oh, that was it, yes. I knew I got something else to tell you. Nelson had a haircut yesterday, and we've now got a lady that has like a mobile van. It's like a mobile dog hairdresser's. It's really cool. It's sort of a bit like a transit van that's been specially kitted out into a doggy salon, and it's ideal for, you know, for now. It means that we used to go to one, but you used to have to take him and drop him off and pick him up again and go inside, which we're trying not to do. And this one, he gets all excited as if he's going, you know, going to the doggy parlour. So she just parks it up outside. She's got a generator, her own generator. She's got her own sort of lead that she sort of sterilises the lead. She passes it over the gate to us on the drive, and then we just clip him on, and off he trots. Off he trots and gets inside this this van. And yeah, I should have clipped that, shouldn't I? It's the starting. I'm going to take that off. I've ended up with a knot on the wrong side. It's when I talk, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, off he trots. So they go in there, and there's like a shower. So he goes in the shower and has all his fur washed and everything, and then yeah, and then she cuts it. It's about an hour and a half he's in, just parked outside the house. It's great. And when he comes back smelling gorgeous, all lovely and pampered. Of course, you've got to stop him from going straight in the mud or whatever. He likes to go down the side of our garage. It's just a very small gap between us and next door's garage, and there's a lot of self-seeded stuff down there that the birds drop. So there's all sorts of like a bit like wild plants down there, and you know those stickle brick, I call them stickle bricks, but I'm not sure, they can get all like sticky buds. Well, he's got this thing about running down there and then getting all this sticky bud stuff all in his fur. So I had to stop him from doing that yesterday. Because he'd just be, you know, he got his doggy aftershave on, all spruced up. Very nice. He'll not stay like it for long. We'll have to try take a photo and put the photo on for you. Yeah. So, how's things where you are? I hope you're managing to get some crafting in. It's very nice to especially the slow stitch. And I know this is not junk journaling as such, but you know, all these slow stitch projects fit nicely into any junk journal. You know, make a cover, which is what I think I'm going to do with these 4. Making a right ash of getting this going, aren't I? And you know, you can put them down your page, and you can make fabric junk journals. It's just relaxing. I mean, everybody's saying that they're enjoying just having half an hour, 40 minutes on a Tuesday where we all sit down and you know, sew and chat, which is quite relaxing because sometimes we all get so busy, don't we? So to make ourselves sit down is good. So you can see with this that I'm enjoying using the silk thread because it's virtually invisible, and that's fine for how I wanted this chenille to be. I mean, the other thing you could do if you want is to use a completely contrasting colour, and then it shows up. You know, it'll really highlight the circles going round. So if you remember, we just couch it from side to side over the top of whatever we're couching, and we'll carry on coiling this round. I'm hoping I'm in a good spot. Sorry, I'm edging further this way because it's hard to sew at such a great distance away. I'm hoping I'm still filming. Okay, so I'll do this a bit more, and then I'm going to have, I think we might couch this bit with the button on somewhere. I don't know if I want to do that as a circle. This this lovely Indian printed fabric, because it takes about 3 months to come. I'd sort of sent for about £30 with there's no point in just sending for a little bit. It's taking 3 months. You'll be ready for some more by the time you've ordered, you know, by the time another 3 months has gone. So yeah. So anybody that's joining us new and wants to join in, you know, we're hoping you're just going back on the videos on Tuesdays that we've already done. You know, to catch up to where we are. I mean, it's not set in stone. We're enjoying doing a pick. So every Monday we're doing a couple of picks out of the mystery jar, and deciding on 2 elements that we're all going to put into the square for that week. So that, yeah, this week is the dark blue and couching. Now we've had couching, I don't know if that was the first week that came out, so surprising. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to choose. They're all on the same paper. Right, that's got some texture as well, that's nice. So I'm just going to finish this off and we'll cut it. Just anchor that down. Don't look at the back too carefully. Oh dear. That's it, I'll just knot that up. And a lot of my stash, I might seem as if I've got a lot of things, but I've been collecting things for a long time. You know, probably 20 years of keep slowly building my stash. And, you know, you don't have to go mad and go and buy it all at once, really. Just buy it in small amounts. Yeah, I'm liking that. It looks lovely. Now, what I've got to decide is... See, I like this with the button. I don't want that one. This was a top I had at one time, and this was like a little... It used to come up here, you know, and fasten the edge of the jumper. Now, how do I want to couch that? I think I'm going to do it like that. Looks a bit like a worm. Good. Okay, now then, do I want to use that still, or do I want to use some thicker? No, I'm going to use some thicker, I think. So I'll just take that out of my needle. Now I'm shocking at trying to get these out. I end up with them in a right angle. There's supposed to be a way that you pull them so they don't come out the paper, or I can never find the end. Is that one? So usually it ends up in a big heap. Oh, I found an end. Keep pulling. I'm alright to there, and then look, it starts getting a bit unravelled. See what I mean? Well, I've done better than normal. Normally papers come off by now. Do I want it a 6 strand? Yes. Now, I'm not sure that I want to. See, this is only trouble, isn't it? You know, when you get these that stranded floss stuff that, look, you're trying to do. Right, I'll split it into 3. 3 and 3. There we go. Right. It's gone really chilly. I have to keep putting the heating on. It's that time now that we don't get away very much now. Once we start getting into November, you don't get away with many days where you don't have to have the heating on in the daytime. Oh, I know what I didn't show you. So this is like one of my sample books that I've got all sorts of bits and bobs in here that I'll show you. But I don't know if I'd shown you that, had I? Probably have in the past. So this is some couching that I did. And I've used some scrim, cheesecloth, and you know, just wound it round in circles. This is piece of ribbon, not ribbon, but like a thick cotton trim, and I've couched that down, and I've done stamping on the background as well, because what I thought we'd do after we've got another 3 weeks of doing the slow stitching, I thought I was going to do a series on backgrounds for stitch. So we'd look at different backgrounds: stamping, painting, waxing, something else with the old bubble wrap again. I thought we'd look at different backgrounds, and I thought then the backgrounds for stitch I'll call it. But oh, thank you, my tea is here. Thank you, darling. He won't dare come on, I tell you, he won't. Yes, and also different backgrounds that lend themselves to being used on paper or fabric for junk journaling or other crafts. I thought we'd do that. So seeing as we were doing couching today, I thought I'd show you other means of doing it, and then like stamping in the middle or putting other stitches in the middle, French knots. This starts getting complicated. There is the best person that does all the folding and pleating and quilting with pleats and patterns is a lady called Jenny Raymond, and yeah, you have a look at her books. They are really interesting, and of course I won't be able to do it twice, I don't think. It's very much like origami, but yeah, some of the patterns that, sorry if I'm holding it too high, some of the patterns that that she does in her work, quilting, she's done one, I don't know if I've still got her book. She's done one that it's so pleated. She's done a representation of a mushroom. Ah, the inside of a mushroom, and it's fabulous. I'll have a look, see if I've still got that book. I might have lent it to the sewing club, I can't remember, but I'll have a look. But anyway, that's what we were having a bash at that, and I've just stuck it in there. So yeah, so a bit of avocado dyed cloth there. I don't know how long I've got left, to be honest. How long have I got left, David?
Right. Been doing nearly half an hour.
Have we? About 10 minutes then. About 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Just had a slurp of tea. Right, about 10 minutes left, so what have I done here with, oh my gilly aunt, I've got a big knot in it now. Okay, right, I'll just do it with this then.
Is that couching?
Yeah.
Just testing you.
Just testing me, are you? Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to couch it because I think now I've seen that on that page, I think it will look nice. Okay. Let me move this up a bit. So just keep alternating from side to side. Couch it down. As I say, you're supposed to not catch any of the fabric in the middle at all. It's supposed to be just going either side, so that if you did want to pull the fabric out, you could. But I don't necessarily follow that. If I think it needs an extra little stitch down like that, you know, you could put it down there and pull it tightly. But say you wanted, like this pleat, I don't necessarily want this pleat to be just couched down and flat, so I might leave that a bit ruffled and just take the couch through the very end of that, and that should leave your patterning in place. Keep moving my pin round. Oh, I didn't ought to do it that way, did I? I might stab myself. There we go. I mean, it doesn't take a lot for me to stab myself with things. And these new Sashiko needles are beautiful, but they are so sharp. So sharp. Across there. Now you'll be all leading up to Thanksgiving, those of you in the States. Do they have Thanksgiving in Canada? If you are from Canada, let me know. I'm not sure. Do you have it in Canada? I think it's a lovely idea, really. It's like having a you know, like a Christmas, a nice Christmas get-together early. I think it must take some of the pressure off, because you can, because often, you know, we run around like something not right, trying to visit everybody all over the UK, the family and friends, and we're absolutely worn out by the time it gets to Christmas. So I think in some ways it's nice to have Thanksgiving, because you can have a get together, you know, with some of your friends and family, or have your main get together then, and then just have a quiet Christmas on your own, or, you know, you share it. We used to, like, you know, one year would have my mum's parents, and then, you know, the other year we'd have my dad's, and share it like that when we were children. But I think it's quite a nice idea to have Thanksgiving. It's like a celebration and a you know, and a thank you. And obviously, let me know, do you sort of, I suppose there's that people of different faiths. Not everybody has Christmas because of their faith. So does everybody have Thanksgiving? So is it like a non-religious orientated celebration? Is it just to say thank you for your life and your friends and your family and good health and that, and religion doesn't come into it? Sorry if I sound a bit thick about it. But yeah, let me know. I'd be interested to know. And I used to do it for my best friend over here, Lainey. I lost her 3 years ago, bless her. She couldn't afford, because she was ill, she couldn't afford to go back to the States. She'd been here. She got dual nationality. She couldn't afford to go back to the States where her children live, because she couldn't afford the health care anymore, because she got so many, you know, things wrong with her, and she did used to get homesick. So I used to do, some years we used to do Thanksgiving for her. She used to come here, and we'd do a big turkey and Thanksgiving, just so she didn't feel so homesick. And I miss doing that now, actually. I miss her. I do miss her very much. And we did used to have a laugh and a giggle. But yeah, so let me know all about Thanksgiving. I'd be very interested to know. And do you know, in some ways, it's everybody's worrying about Christmas and now we're going to be locked down or whatever. But I think it takes the pressure off. I'm looking forward to it going back to its roots. You know, it's become far too commercialised. People are obsessed. We're not buying presents at all. None of our family have decided we're not going to buy presents this year, because of how things are. We're all going to save our money, and then when we can get together, we're going to all get together and have a nice party, nice meal out, or go away or whatever. And that's what we've decided to do, and I think that's going to be lovely. And then I think that actual Christmas, you know, we'll get it back to its traditions of what it means and what it represents, and, you know, the birth of Christ and everything. And to me, it represents kindness and doing the right thing in the world by people. And I think people have become far too commercialised. So I'm really looking forward to it, lockdown or not. I think it's going to be nice. And anyway, we in the Northern Hemisphere, we've got awful cold weather for Christmas, so I'd rather wait and spend my money when it's hotter in the summer next year. You can have a better party when it's hotter. Outside party. Anyway, I think I've about come to the end of my slotted time. I'm not sure if I really like that. It looks a bit like a slug or a snake or something. I don't know. I might end up taking it off. A one-eyed slug. We'll see. Yeah, you'll see Friday if I take it off. I think I will. I'm not keen on it. So, we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I've enjoyed having your company, having you sat over there sewing and chatting and having a cup of tea. And I'll see you again on Thursday. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a few more Christmas ephemera. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing Christmas right up to Christmas. We'll start doing something else soon. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Much love as always. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I've got to make up for this subscriber that's disappeared. So, yeah. Bye for now.